There are 5 ways for the world to end. Spoiler alert. 1. The Big Crunch. Now, as you know, the universe is expanding. Sorry, am I going too fast? Fine. In case you didn't know, the universe is expanding. Why didn't you know that? Seriously, read a book sometime. Anyway, let's say that the elastic snaps, the worm turns, and eventually it begins to contract, getting smaller, hotter, denser. A double-decker wrapper in the microwave, till it's basically just a very compact inferno. So that's 1. Okay? 2, the Big Freeze. Does what it says on the tin. Heat death. Everything becomes the same temperature. The universe is now uniformly cold, dead, and empty, and nothing interesting ever happens again. Number 3, the Big Change. Dark energy keeps growing, pulling the universe apart, till one day a bubble of lower energy shows up, expands at the speed of light, and rewrites the rules of chemistry, and destroys humans, planets, stars, etc. And at number 4, if the amount of dark energy increases too fast, we might get a big rip. Which is, you know, pretty much what it is. Have you ever seen Star Trek? Kind of like that. Atoms shatter and the Earth, understandably, explodes. And by the way, no offence, no offence, but it's unlikely that any of you are going to be able to understand this at all, except maybe in the most rudimentary terms. I mean, most of you probably don't even know whether any of this is true or not. Yeah? No? And that's okay. That's okay. I mean, you're doing your best. And the thing is, it feels true, doesn't it? The idea that all of this will end in catastrophe over which we have no power, that's a given. That is a familiar and strangely comforting fact. Be it fire, ice, cosmic menopause, atomic obliteration, or a contagion, perhaps. A virus spreading too fast for us to control, an ice floe melting too quickly, a shortage of food, a war over water, a bad day on the golf course by a sociopath with access to the nuclear codes, or, for example, number 5. One day you're at home, cooking the soup. I mean, it's not from scratch or anything, but, you know, you got the carton open and you're feeling pretty fucking pleased with yourself, and as it starts to bubble, you become aware that your blood has been replaced by battery acid. And this is, yeah, it's a disturbing thought, but it's a familiar one. You've had this thought before, many times, actually. But you've always been able to receive it with a kind of like a healthy skepticism. The way you think about crop circles, or the charitable gestures of millionaires, But what's different today is that you can no longer tell the difference between this piece of information and any other piece of information. It arrives in your brain in the same font as any other fact. That is a toaster. The kettle is metal. You live in Geneva. Taekwondo is an Olympic sport. Angelica Houston speaks fluent French. The human immunodeficiency virus cannot be spread by mosquitoes. Anthrax is a disease. Ashenite is a mineral. Your heart is a pump for battery acid. You're cooking soup for your son. Your son is 8. Your son is upstairs, in bed, with a cold. And that's when you realise somehow the seal of your body has broken. And this acid no longer contained by your skin, veins, arteries, flesh. It's leaching through the pads of your fingers. It's in your saliva, the moisture in your eyes, the sweat on the back of your neck, a wetness, a taste in your mouth, burning, corroding, contaminating everything you see. Black smears on the spoon on the bowl that you put on the tray to take to your son who is 8, who is upstairs, in bed, with a cold, with a temperature, with a fever caused by a rot, and suddenly you realise you are the rot! You are the disease! And there's a sound like a click, like the click of a catch on a suitcase, and there's a relief! There's a relief because there is order now! Whatever else, there is order, so you turn off the gas, and leaving your coat and your wallet and your mobile phone behind you, walk out of the